So the midwife, they took me to the labor ward. So I was there. While I was in the labor ward, they came to check, and I was 8 minutes, how am I say 8 minutes? I was 8 centimeters dilated. And the midwives were like, why did I even try to say I wanted a VBAC? I did a CS, so I would have just opted for, I was like, no, my mother-in-law did a VBAC, and she had a CS for the first baby, and the subsequent one were all VBAC. So I wanted to do it, and I believe that I can do it. You get, and I've been praying about this thing. So, and I also believe that it's an opportunity to try out new things. It was really, really not easy, but although they complained, and while I was there, um, had a doctor who came in, and he was like, they told him I opted for a VBAC, and he was like, how many years? There's this panic whenever you say you want to do a VBAC after a CS section, but one good thing is that this hospital, they allowed it, so why not? Okay, so I had two women, the labor room going in threes. So we had two women by my side. One had already given birth, she was already talking, and me, I was in the middle yelling. I was screaming, I was like, God, this is about they should do this. I was just shouting, Jesus, Jesus, help me, save me, help me. So, and the woman by my right, my left, sorry, was already preparing to go for a CS section. I was already asking my midwife, oh, when is the baby going to come out? When am I going to do this CS? I need this baby to come out for me. The pain is really painful. I can't take it. So one thing was that I was really getting angry because the pain was intense, and I was not happy with the midwife in the hospital because she was trying to talk me down. She was asking me so many questions. Why did I opt for a VBAC? Why I was So I was not happy with her. But God can do everything, can turn everything around. So while I was there, the woman who was on my right was already going out. They were taking her to her room. And the one on my left they were already preparing her to go for CS. So I noticed that she was coming back, and she was shouting, I want to poo, I want to poo, I want to poo. Then the midwife told her, make sure you don't bring that baby out from you. Make sure the baby doesn't fall down on the floor. So they put her on the bed, and poof, she gave birth. And I told the women in the hospital, in the labor ward, that can I come down? Because the lying down I was told to do was not helping me. Earlier it was not helping me in the house. It was not helping me in the room. So how will it help me here in the labor ward? So it was painful. So I told them, let me come down. They said no. Let them call my husband for me too. They said no. At least he should come and rub my back. These were the things I was doing, that had brought me here. So let him come and rub my back. They said no. So I told them that let me get down. They said no. So I don't know how God was able to do this thing, and the midwife allowed me to get down. The good thing in the cleaner in the labor ward. So I don't know how God was able to put things together for my good. So I came down. Already, they've already burst the water. There was blood coming out from me. So once the cleaner saw the blood, she would clean. I was standing, and already that was before I came down. This woman, that's the woman who was supposed to go for CS. They've already put her on the bed so she can give birth. And I think I came down. Yeah, I came down before she gave birth. So while I was looking at all these people giving birth here and there, I was seeing their children and all that. I was on the floor. I was standing. So the blood was coming out. The blood was coming out. I was I was becoming relieved as I came down from the bed, and as I was standing, I became very relieved. So as I was relieved, I was smiling. I was laughing at the woman who was on my left, shouting that she wants to poo poo. That before she gave birth, I was laughing at her. So the midwives and so there was another midwife too in the room. So there were two midwife, one cleaner. So I was laughing at the woman. I was actually laughing at her that she was anyway. Like, look at you who have not given birth, you are laughing. You who wants to go for CS, you are laughing. So they also called the CS room to tell them that I wanted to give birth through CS. And they were like, how many centimeters have I dilated? And they were like, 8 centimeters. They were like, I should try and push out. Since I've already gotten to 8 centimeters, so to try so much to push out. But even when they tried, they pushing, the midwife were like, I'm pushing, but the baby is up there. So when I finally came down, I got motivated. And I noticed that once I tried to push. I noticed that my baby was turning in my stomach. So that was the miracle that God was preparing for me, and God wanted this midwife to also see. So as I came down, and as I was also looking at this woman, she had already pushed her baby out. They were cleaning her up. That's the woman on my left, the one that I said she wanted to poo. So when I was looking at her, looking at the whole thing, I just got this strength in me, you know. I was 8 centimeters, so I just got this strength in me. Amazingly, as I just did one. I pushed one, and I felt like, okay, I can actually do this thing. So the middle I was looking at was looking at warning me that I should make sure I don't push this baby out. So the baby shouldn't fall on the floor. So the second time I tried to push, I just told her that I can feel the baby's head. I can feel the baby's head. So she quickly told me to jump on the bed. So I jumped on the bed, and lo and behold, I just pushed. She was like, push. I just pushed out, and I pushed my baby. Oh, and the midwives were like, what miracle? What did I do? To the extent they even asked me what church I go to. It was a miracle. There are some process that they go through, especially with this one public hospital. They have a process that they go through, but they've left out some other process which can also actually help people give birth. One of the lessons I learned, which I'm actually giving out to you guys, is that we have to always read. We have to read. We have to read about the process we are going through, especially this pregnancy process is not an easy one. So every time, thank God for Google, we have to read, we have to research, we have to take our partners along, let them read, let them research. There are sometimes you might not have the strength to read, let your partner read for you. And second lesson was that your partner has to also be communicated to. You have to communicate with him every time. So one good thing is that I told my husband that I wanted a VBAC. So he looked at me earlier when I told him that I wanted a CS. He looked at me, and God being so good, he was praying for me. So third lesson is that partners, husbands, pray for your wife whenever you are in the labor, whenever well, this thing is not just a physical battle, it is a spiritual one. And whenever you invite God into the matter, he helps you, he makes it sweet. And the third one is, which is very important, is that speak to your doctor, speak to your midwife. Take them. Sometimes they might even forget, because in my case, they forgot that I was supposed to talk to my doctor through this process, through this VBAC process. So speak to your midwife, speak to your doctor, let them explain it to you, let them explain, especially if you are not too good at reading, let them explain the VBAC, let them ask them questions, ask them questions about the VBAC you're about to go. Don't just do it because somebody else did it too. No, do ask your doctor, let them what's the name, let them talk to you about it. If they say you are not eligible to do it, don't force yourself, my sister. Don't force yourself to do it. Just allow yourself, because the truth is that every process that God has created has an advantage and has a disadvantage, and it is for the glory of God. Do you get? And above all, let us be prayerful. Pray through this process. The good thing about my hospital was that it's a public hospital, but one of the good things is that we had pastors, we had people come to pray with us at every time we go for our weekly routines. So pray about it. Talk to God about it. It's not easy, but pray about it. Tell God what you want. And do you know the amazing thing? God is sovereign. I didn't give birth to my baby on the 22nd of November. And I was not sad about it. So I gave it to her on 23rd of November, which was on a Wednesday, and I gave it to her 1 a.m. You get? So I prayed for a VBAC. I prayed for my baby to be given birth to on the 22nd. But God answered the VBAC and decided not to give her to me on the 22nd. And when I go home, I realized that, I have a Wednesday born. My family has a Wednesday born. We in our family, we have all from Monday to Friday, but we didn't have a Wednesday. I was grateful to God that I had her on a Wednesday. We didn't have a Wednesday born, but now we have a Wednesday born. So to the glory of God, whichever way God takes you through, He does it for His glory. Just enjoy the process, enjoy everything that God does to you, and you would see that this life will be a beautiful one. So I'm grateful to God, very importantly, for giving me my baby girl on a Wednesday, and giving me this feedback. I was really happy, and that was one of my mommy's prayer, and God answered it. Yeah, if you have been watching to this point, thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Thank you. It was really an amazing journey, seriously, and I'm really grateful to God. Seriously grateful to God for a successful feedback, and it also shows that it can be possible here in Ghana. Thank you to all my midwife. Thank you to my husband. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to you watching. And please always know that God has given us one day at a time. So take one day at a time, enjoy one day at a time, enjoy the day God has given you. And and his name will always be glorified. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and if you have any question, please ask. I would be glad to answer you. Click the notification bell below. Till meet in my next video. Stay safe and bye.